Hey everybody, it's LavenderTowne.
And today I'm continuing my series where I turn random stuff into cute girls, and today I'm doing websites. I've done like social media and apps before, but there were a few that were notably left out. So starting off with Twitch. Twitch is a live streaming platform, as probably most of you know, and I would say that the whole platform is kind of defined by that. It definitely has a slower energy than a lot of other sites, especially with sites like YouTube trying to compete with TikTok and adding in shorts, and everything seems to be getting shorter and snappier, but Twitch kind of goes the opposite of that. So right off the bat, I wanted to give her a very relaxed posture. The human embodiment of Twitch would definitely not have super high energy necessarily, even though Twitch streamers do tend to like yell and get really excited about stuff. The core idea of live streaming and that content is this sort of like hangouty feeling. So I really wanted to get that across with her personality. The next thing I had to focus on was like the props, and of course I had to put her in one of those classic streamer gamer chairs, and I gave her a controller as well as one of those shaker cups I think you get with like the various gamer caffeine powders or whatever, you know, like your G Fuels and whatnot. That's so heavily sponsored and advertised specifically on Twitch that I thought I had to put one of those in there. Also, I feel like snacking on stream and eating and drinking and stuff is like weirdly a part of streamer culture as well, just because they're on camera for so long versus like someone doing an edited video or a TikTok. Obviously, you're not watching them long enough for them to need to drink and eat and stuff like that. For the outfit, I tried to make her shirt noticeably fancier and nicer than her pants because, again, it's sort of a meme of like, you know, you only have to dress for what the camera sees. So I gave her sweatpants and then sort of a little like scalloped shirt. I felt like that kind of worked. And for her eyes, I kind of went a little crazy. I gave one of her irises the actual like Twitch logo and the other one just like an X. I don't know, I just thought it looked cool. Of course, we need the gamer headset that is so popular with the cat ears. I also put a little mini fridge in the back, again, to sort of lean into this like weird trend of there being like fancy mini fridges behind some streamers that's usually filled with some sort of sponsored beverage. And because I had another surface to work with, I decided to put some stickers on there to sort of allude to some of the games that I've seen streamed. Particularly, I put on Plumb Bob for Sims and a little Apex symbol and a little Minecraft diamond sword. I also gave her some plushies, one of a Minecraft bee and one of a little Among Us dude. And then the next thing to do was color. I put in my mask as the actual like Twitch purple color so that I could build the entire color palette around Twitch's main color. And usually people use Twitch in dark mode. Actually, I'm suddenly not even sure if they have a non-dark mode of Twitch, but anyway, I also associate it with sort of like a charcoal dark sort of almost black color, so I put that as her chair, and then I just built out a mainly purple palette with little pops of yellow to tie in the little Minecraft bee. She has a little choker on it that's supposed to look like it has bits on it, which on Twitch is just like another way you can like tip a streamer. And I ended up making her bunny slippers green just as a last minute sort of allusion to the Pepe emotes that are still heavily used on Twitch and basically nowhere else. And then with that, there was just a little bit of shading to do and she was basically done. I gave her kind of an e-girl, casual, cute hairstyle, and I feel like she represents Twitch pretty well. She'd definitely be a chill yet kind of chaotic character. Next up is her polar opposite, and that is TikTok, the short form social media that completely blew everything else out of the water in only about like 2 years. And TikTok definitely, I wanted to have a bit of a scarier vibe to her. I wanted her to seem younger as well, so I gave her like these pigtails, and I also used the pigtails to sort of loop around and sort of kind of make that silhouette of the TikTok little, I guess it's kind of like a music note, I guess back from their Musical.ly days. And I knew that the TikTok color palette was going to be a lot more exciting because rather than just being sort of like one color and neutrals like Twitch has, TikTok has this really cool effect of what do they call it, like chromatic aberration. It almost has that like 3D glasses kind of color palette. It actually reminded me a little bit of the Joy-Con girls I drew so long ago because it has the red and the cyan, but I'll talk about that more when we get to the color. Again, I wanted her to have sort of an ominous look to her while also being really cute, because I do think that like it took everyone by surprise how addictive and how popular this app got in such a short period of time. So I definitely wanted to make her look like someone who could either lead the student council or lead a cult. And it's just not clear what the depth of her power really is. I gave her a tight t-shirt that says FYP on it to be like the For You page. That's one tag that you find on like almost every TikTok that people desperately want to go viral, as if tagging it as the For You page will make it go on the For You page. I never really understood that one, but it does make me laugh. And I wanted to give her a pleated skirt just because they're very popular. I mean, right now and always, especially with like anime fans and anybody who's interested in those kind of subcultures. And then I put these little panels on it just as a very subtle allusion to the fact that, unlike almost all video sites before TikTok, they decided to go with the upright vertical style of filming rather than the your classic YouTube TV movie style where it's on its side. And then I wanted to build out most of the color with black, and then use these little pops of this super saturated kind of like magenta red and cyan color. I think the pigtails mainly being where you see that color is important because in the actual TikTok logo, it's off to the side of either side of the logo. So I wanted to sort of maintain that position. And I wanted her to be sort of like reaching out to you because it's one of those things that I think so many people got really interested in very casually at first. And now a lot of people watch TikTok every single day. So yeah, I definitely wanted to give her that feeling of like, she's inviting you in. She wants you to join her. And of course, I very obviously put the TikTok logo as sort of like this little pin at the front of her pigtails as well, just to have a very direct tie-in to the app. I definitely think she would have a very high-pitched voice and seem very sweet, but also have this like very alternative fashion style and just be a little bit creepy, just a little bit. Like, you don't really know. She's unpredictable. You can never guess what she's going to show you, and she definitely wants to take you along with her no matter where she's going. Almost kind of a yandere vibe, but there she is, my scary little TikTok character. Next up is Webtoon. Now, I almost didn't include Webtoon, but I do feel like it's a pretty popular webcomic hosting site. I host my comic on both Webtoon and originally on Tapas, which Tapas is still my favorite, but Webtoon is just such a household name at this point, and I thought it would be fun to add her in as well. For this, I definitely wanted to make her a bit more of the nerdy, introverted type. Obviously, TikTok is very gregarious, and Twitch is definitely more like a chill, friendly type. Webtoon would be a little bit more off on her own because it's not really any type of social media. You're not really interacting with others that much. It's really an entertainment app where you go to read comics. So I definitely wanted to give her a bit more of a on her own sort of pose and just look about her. And since so many of Webtoon's most popular comics are romance themed, in fact, a lot of them are so like similarly themed that it's hard to pick them apart, particularly the ones about being a villainess and being sent to a historical time or a high fantasy time that seems like back in time, but they're all based around usually some sort of somewhat fraught romance with a potentially toxic love interest. So I definitely try to give her a bit of that like Fujoshi vibe, and I gave her a really romantic sort of blouse as well as these like ribbons in her hair and kind of long hair. I wanted her to just look really, really girly and like lost in her own thoughts and sort of like she just loves the fantasy of it all. She likes reading about all these crazy romances and all these love affairs that have so many troubles to them. Love was really the main thing that I tried to focus on with her design. So she has these little cute heart buttons that go down her skirt, and of course I'm having her hold her beloved Webtoons to her chest. Webtoon is a hosting site, so I definitely wanted it to seem like she was holding them or presenting them in a way that she wants you to read them too. And Webtoon has a very, very simple color palette. It's this rather bright green color, actually. I thought it was darker when I was first picturing coloring this, and then I actually looked, and it's quite bright, like it's almost very acidic. So I ended up going with white and green, just like they have in the icon. I didn't want to add too many like outside colors. I gave her a bit of a warm color to work with, so she'd have a normal skin tone, that I didn't want to make her skin green. And then I gave a little pink for the heart in her eye as well as her tongue, and I put a little pencil behind her ear because, again, a lot of people go on Webtoon to host their comic, not just read them. So I wanted a little bit of that like allusion to creativity, and one of her irises is in the shape of the Webtoon logo as well. Personality-wise, I think she'd definitely be the type to be really quiet and on her own and almost kind of shy at first, but then if you got her talking about the comics that she's been reading or anything to do with like fiction, I feel like she would just go completely wild and go crazy, like trying to recommend comics to you. She would constantly be like, did you read it yet? And, you know, wanting to talk to everyone about all the stuff that she's been reading. So she definitely have that sort of hyper-fixated bookworm kind of energy, and I think she'd really round out the group really well, with Twitch's casualness, TikTok's sort of popular intensity, and then her more passionate but mellow kind of personality. I think they'd make a great trio. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me turn these websites into cute girls, and definitely leave a comment if you have any suggestions on what I should turn into a cute character design next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much to my beautiful patrons, including Tom the Chicken, Odds Jamal, Kayla Grimes, Rodrigo, Neurocherry, Cully Halsey, Kubo, Moonmilk, Alana the Artist, Rylan Parker, Raylan, Kadaria, Something Super, Deadly Nightshade Art, Maria Vasquez, Astral Fox Art, Middle Z, Lily Allure, The Expressive Poker Face, Morrissey Axolotl, Chris Draws, Kai Kizer, Subaki, Liliana Hammontree, Michael Lavalley, Cutie Pie, Rainwater Pearls, Ice Cream Pal, Lion, Nora Cornelison, Cola, Your Boy ST, JJ Jade, and of course, La Blah Blah Blah.